Morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time you are watching this video. In this video today, we will be exploring the VLOOKUP function in Excel, what it is used for, and how we can make use of this function effectively. I hope you have been following along with the previous sessions. Without further ado, let's jump right into Excel and start accomplishing our tasks. Let's say, what is VLOOKUP in the first place? VLOOKUP is a widely used function in Excel for vertical lookup. It searches for a value in the first column of a table or range, and when it finds a match, it returns corresponding value from a specified column. I want you to see this VLOOKUP, uh, the way you operate your mobile phone. There are times whereby you want to call someone, you have the person's contact saved somewhere on your phone, but you don't have the person's contact off the top of your head. You can easily type the person's name, right? And then what will happen when you easily type the person's name, the corresponding number will appear. Then you can go ahead and dial the number. Similarly, the VLOOKUP function works the same way. Here we have employees table, and in this employees table, we have the employees ID down to their email address. So we want to for look up for a particular employee's name in order to get the employee to fetch the corresponding salary. That is what we want to explore, using the first name as our lookup value, and while it returns the corresponding salary. In order to do this, what do? We use the VLOOKUP function, which is equals to VLOOKUP. The lookup value here is the first name, so which we are going to supply this lookup value in D14, comma. The table range now is ranging from B down to to I10. The column index, our column index is, which column are we looking at here? Which is column F, which is the fifth column, counting from B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The salary column is the fifth column, so we supply the column index number here, which is 5, comma. Then we want it to return the exact match. So we use false to return the exact match. Press tab, and when you press enter, now on pressing enter we get this NA. Why? Because we are yet to look up for that value, to supply the name. When we go ahead and type Jim and you press enter, as you can see, what it does is that the VLOOKUP value go goes ahead to search went ahead rather to search for the lookup value we've supplied, which is Jim. Are you getting it here? Which is Jim, and it searches from what here? It searches from what? From this table range, which is B2 to I10, and look at the what? And returns the what? The salary column, the salary value. And why we use false to get the exact match. And when you press enter, you can see it supplies the what? The salary for this person, which is Jim. If we go ahead and supply and put another name, let's say Tayo, we are getting NA because why? There is no person, no first name, no value that what? That correspond to this. The value Tayo, this value Tayo that we supply, Excel cannot find this what? The VLOOKUP function could not what? Find that particular value, and it returns NA. So along 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 the line, we are going to what? Deal with how to undo this error function in VLOOKUP. How to undo error using the if error function within our VLOOKUP function. How to treat error. So we are going to do that along the line in this video. So let me put another name here, which is Toby, and when you press enter, it's going to 5,000. What if we can also use this VLOOKUP function to what? To fetch value or data that is stored in another worksheet. So we can use this VLOOKUP function as well to fetch data that is stored in another worksheet. Let us examine this employees job title worksheet here. Coming to this worksheet, you see we just have only two, what's it called? We just have only two columns here, which is employee ID and job title. Employee ID in column 1, job title in column 2. So the what now? The column index for this job title is what? Is 2, because we can find it in what? In column 2. Why the what now? The column index for employee ID is what? 1. Now, we can search for this, for any employee's job title using the employee's ID as our reference. So in order to do this, we will use employee's ID, because here we can find these words. We have this employee ID column present in our master table, right? In this master table, we have the employee ID, which is the primary ID within these words, within this master table. We also have it present here in the employee's job title as our what? As a foreign key. This employee ID is a foreign key in this particular worksheet. So we want to fetch any employee job title using employee ID as our what? As our lookup value. So how do we do this? In order to do this, we are going to use our VLOOKUP. You type your VLOOKUP. Now, the lookup value is what? Employee's ID, right? Which is, we are supplying that value in our what? In D18, comma. Then the table array now. The table array is the what? Is the employee job title. We have it in the employee's job title worksheet. So what are we going to do here is now we will supply this job title quote, single quote, then you type the employee what now, the job title worksheet exclamation, then you supply with exclamation mark. Now we've referenced this table by putting it in what, in a single quote. We've referenced the table. Then our table array, remember that we said that the, the column, the table array is what? It ranges from what? A what? From what rather? A2 to what? To B3. From A2 to B3. To B10 rather. That is our range. So coming back here, the range will be now what? Let's get rid of this. Sorry. It is let's get rid of that. Then our range now is what? A2 to B what? To B10. What then, comma, the column index number is what? The job title column, which is 2. Because the job title column is in what? Is in column 2. Then, comma, we want the exact match, which is what? We are using false. When you press shift, then you press enter. Then let us supply any number here, 003. When you press enter, can you see that employees using employee ID, one employee employee with 1003 with ID 1003 is a what? Is a salesman. Is a what? Is a salesman. Can you see it? 0013 is a what? Is a salesman. So which what? We've gotten our what? Our exact match here. If we go ahead and put another number here, let's say, let's use number that is not present within our data set, 002,007. We are getting NA because there is nobody without what? Without ID. So this employee ID 1007 happens to be what? Meredith with what? Who happens to be a what? A supplier relation. Is a supplier relation officer. So that is how we can what? We can find data or value on other worksheets by referencing the name of the worksheet and then the table array. Let's go ahead. Looking at this place, let's say we want to link we want to bring in this job title here. Want to bring the job title here, column here, into our master table here. Want to bring it into our what? Our master table. So let me go ahead and insert a new table. Now, notice something, that when I inserted a new column, this change. Why? Can you see that we are now having what? F. It supplies the gender because I added a new column, and that has adjusted our what? Our table. It has what? Our table is now what? Scaling. When we started, we talk about working with the what? With the end in mind. So now our our table is what is expanding. We want to bring another new column which initially is not present. So when I created a new column, when I added a new column, what happened? You see that this formula adjusted itself. Initially, we are referencing the words. We are looking up a value within column what? Within the in the fifth column, which initially before adding this new column is what? Is 5. See what we now have now. Look at it. When I inserted a new column within the data table, it adjusted itself. It's now referencing what? It supplies the what? The employee gender instead of salary. Why? Because now the number has what? Has changed dynamically. We now have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our fifth column now is what? Is now gender column instead of what? The the salary column. So let's say you are working on analysis and you don't want to scatter what you are doing. The best thing you can do is what? Let me control Z and just what? Let me copy this. Let me copy this because it's a form is a function, and then let me paste it as what? As value. So what I've just done is, even though if I insert a what? A new column within this within our date between our table, it will not what? It will not change the value here. So let me go ahead and insert. Can you see? It's still referencing this word because I've changed it from what? From function to a what? To a value. So because I want to bring in I want to supply I want to bring in the job title column into this place. That is why I'm inserting a new column. So you can decide not to put it here. You can put it somewhere what? Somewhere. You can put it somewhere else. Let's say this place now. So let's put it here. Let's name this one job title and you press enter. Now, in order to do that, we will do what? We will equals what? Our VLOOKUP value. Our VLOOKUP value will now be what now? It will be A2, comma, the table array now is what? Because we are bringing in that the single quote, we reference the what? We make reference to the employee job uh job title worksheet. Then you close, comma. Before that, we put our exclamation mark. Then we reference the table now, which is A2. Remember to B B10, A2 to B10, right? Comma. What else again are we adding? The index number now, the column index number. The column index number is what? 2. And then we want the first exact match. And you press enter. As you can see, when you drag down, then we now have the job title. We bring in the words, that column. we've bring in the column from the what, from the employees job title worksheet into our master sheet here. So that is how you can do that. Like, let us continue. Now, how do we undo error? Handling error. We can undo error using this if error function within our VLOOKUP table. Remember, when we supplied a value that is not what, that is not existing within our what, our table, and we are getting that NA. Instead of getting NA, we want to return a customized message, a message of, let's say, probably the value does not exist or the employee does not exist. So what do we do? Now you come to F3, because this is where we want to supply the VLOOKUP, the value we are looking up to. So you come to F3, you supply the if error, the if error value, then the VLOOKUP value here, the VLOOKUP value that we want to look at, we are dealing with. Our lookup value will be what? In F2 here, comma, the table array now is what? Between this B2 and E10. That's the table array. The table array we are looking at. That's the table array we are looking at, which is in what? The column index. No, the column index we are looking is what? At first name. That will be what? 1. Then comma. We now what? We will, because we want the exact match, we press enter. When we press enter, we need to close the what? The parenthesis. Let's close the parenthesis and then you put comma. Then the if error value we want to what now? We want to supply the if error value. So if the value could not be seen, we cannot fetch. If this VLOOK, the value we are going to supply here, if we cannot find it within our data set, we will give the following error message that what? Double quotes, employee what? Employee does not exist. We close it. Then you press enter. You press. We found a typo in your formula and try to correct it. If employee, okay, okay. Does not exist. Then you close the parenthesis and you enter. Now, because we are yet to supply the name, let me type Ezekiah, my name, and I press enter. As you can see, it gives us what? Employee does not exist instead of the usual NA. So we let me supply another name here. Let's look for from Beersley. So employee does not exist. So because that's not the column we are looking at. So let me supply Angela Micho. Angela. And let me supply to B. You see, we get that particular match. So what if if we use um this now, let's look at approximate match. How do we make use of approximate match? The value in the first column of the table must be stored in what? In ascending order. If we use approximate match, let's see what will happen. I press enter. It gets to be, so it will still give you the same value. So you see what approximately match does now. Instead of giving us TO, it's giving us Angela. So it supplies the words. It returns the value approximate match. What it does is that it will supply the value before the exact value you are looking for. So that's what what approximate match does. As you can see here, we started to B. So it gives us, because approximate, we are not supplying the full name, we just supply 2. And when we press enter, because TO, just because we give it TO, it supplies the value before. So when you are using, that is why we are using the exact match. The exact match will return the exact the exact formula, the exact value, the exact value we are looking for. I press enter, does not exist. So that is how we use VLOOKUP function in Excel. I do hope you enjoyed the video and you've learned how you can make use of VLOOKUP function effectively. Thank you. See you at the next video.